What's going on, everyone? Today I'm going to be covering everyone's favorite game mode, 1v1s. This is the mode that I always recommend new players to use if they want to get good really quick. It forces you to see the mistakes you're making, forces you to better your offense, better your defense. It's just all around good for forcing you to have interactions with the ball and putting all the pressure on yourself. And since that's the case, it's also the most tilting because, again, everything's up to you, and if you lose, it's solely your fault. But regardless of how tilting it is, a lot of high-rated players today got their start in 1v1, so there's no doubt that it can help make a great player. Alright, with all that out of the way, let's move on to my first tip. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about is possession. Possession is huge in all of the modes, but it's especially important in 1v1s. Try to prevent yourself from going for big touches that just boon the ball across the field. Sometimes these touches can lead to goals, but for the most part, you're just gonna give away possession and give your opponent a chance to attack on you. Dribble outplays are always gonna work better than booming and hoping for a chance. And the closer the ball is to you, the more pressure you'll have on your opponent, and you don't want to give that pressure up. The more pressure on the opponent, the more likely they are to make mistakes, and the easier it'll be for you to score. Number 2, mix up your playstyle. There's nothing wrong with having an arsenal of moves that you like to go for each game, but if you find that your opponent is reading one move in particular a lot, try to mix it up and go for something else. Try not to get into a routine of doing the same attack. A good opponent will pick up on this and learn to read your plays that you're setting up. Throwing in fakes, slowing down the play, speeding the play up at odd timings are all things to do to throw your opponent off. Alright, on to number 3. Learn to read your opponent. A lot of newer 1v1 players seem to have a reaction-based playstyle where they kind of just let people shoot on their goal and they kind of react in time to see if they can save it. And this playstyle might work for a little bit, but ultimately it's not a good playstyle to have. If you are able to pick up on things that your opponent likes to do and adjust your defense towards it before they're even able to set it up, you'll be able to easily stop any play they try to set up. Better learning how to read your opponent will lead to better challenges against them. If you know how they like to set up flicks, you'll be able to pre-jump before they even have time to set it up. If the ball falls off of their car while they're dribbling, you know that you can go for a 50-50. If they like to set up air dribbles off the wall, you can sit on the backboard to shut them down early. There's just a lot of things that you can pick up on your opponent that'll easily help your defense out. Defense in 1v1s definitely wins games. Okay, on to number 4, kickoffs. Kickoffs are super important in all modes, but I would say they're super important in 1v1s. If you have a bad kickoff, you're probably gonna get kickoff gold a lot. I've heard people say that kickoffs are all luck and there's no point in even trying to get a better one, but that is super incorrect. You can absolutely improve your kickoff. There's different things you can do. You can get a faster kickoff. You can learn how to 50-50 better. There's just a ton of things that you can do to make sure that possession goes to you first. As of right now, I do not have a kickoff tutorial because I don't think mine is super good. But once I perfect mine a little better, I definitely plan on making one, so be on the lookout for that. Alright, on to my last tip for this video. Demos are super OP. I'm sure that's probably an obvious tip, because if their opponent is dead, then you can score easily. But don't look at it as just a cheap play to get goals. Demoing your opponent can lead to them getting super tilted and trying to get revenge demos on you, which is going to make them play a lot worse. Unless you're playing against Sledge, which in that case, good luck. Alrighty boys, that is going to do it for my 1v1 tips. Hopefully you found some new tips that you did not think about before and it helps improve your 1v1 game. I plan on having 2v2s and 3v3 tips coming out pretty soon, so be sure to be on the lookout for that, and I will talk to you in the next one.